Before we dive into this week's episode, I want to share an exciting offer from our friends at Fourth Party. You met both Melissa Brogdon and Michael Holmes in 2 episodes where we focused on both how important your back end is to your business, as well as how important creating a smooth client experience is. Well, Fourth Party bridges the gap between great mediators and great businesses by offering technology and guidance that makes running a mediation practice feel effortless. So say goodbye to the pain of scheduling, payments, and communications with Fourth Party. And right now, they are offering listeners 20% off their first 6 months with the code Susan20. So all you have to do to take advantage of that, head over to fourthparty.app and schedule a conversation with their team. Just tell them that Susan sent you, use the code Susan20. I'll put links and notes in the show notes for you, but go check it out today. Welcome to the Practice Playbook Podcast, your go-to resource for legal professionals, mediators, and entrepreneurial experts building modern, profitable, and purpose-driven businesses. I'm your host, Susan Guthrie, attorney, mediator, and #1 best-selling author with over 35 years of experience. I'm a former chair of the ABA section of dispute resolution, and I've helped thousands of professionals build practices they love through my books, coaching, and training programs. Each week, I'll bring you real-world strategies, mindset shifts, and behind-the-scenes insights to help you grow with clarity, confidence, and impact. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to the Practice Playbook Podcast, where we explore what it really takes to build a thriving, sustainable dispute resolution practice, one that's not only profitable, but purpose-driven. I'm Susan Guthrie, and today we're tackling one of the biggest challenges I hear from every professional in our field: marketing. Let's be honest, most of us did not become mediators, arbitrators, ombuds, facilitators because we wanted to be marketers. We wanted to help people resolve conflict, not sell ourselves. In fact, selling ourselves feels so cringy. But that's what today's episode is all about. We're going to break down the top 3 must-dos for modern marketing in dispute resolution. These are the essential strategies that will help you attract more of the right clients, build credibility, and grow your practice in an authentic way. Here's what we'll cover. First, why you should be marketing dispute resolution itself, not just your own services. 2, how to build your brand around trust, not titles. And 3rd, why consistent follow-up might be your most powerful growth tool. So let's get started. We'll start with segment 1 here, which is marketing dispute resolution, not just your services. This is a simple truth for all of us as professionals. Most people, even lawyers, don't fully understand what dispute resolution professionals actually do. They've heard of mediation or arbitration, but they often don't know the difference between them, what the process looks like, or most importantly, how it could help them, right? What are the benefits for them? And that lack of understanding is your biggest marketing opportunity. Because your marketing isn't just about promoting you. It is about promoting the process. When you help people understand what dispute resolution is, how it works, and why it's a better path forward for them, you are expanding the entire market for your services and for our field as a whole. So think of every outreach, every effort you make as an educational moment. Instead of saying, I offer mediation and arbitration services. Show people what those processes feel like. They always say in marketing, right? People buy how you make them feel. So let them know what mediation feels like, what arbitration feels like. For example, you might say, in mediation, the parties stay in control of their decisions and often find resolution faster, at a lower cost, and with far less emotional strain. That is clear, it's relatable, and it's benefits driven. The goal is to demystify the process. So tell stories, share examples, use short, digestible posts, videos. I've told you, I've got a whole episode on why LinkedIn is loving videos, short videos right now. Get some videos out there, blogs, but highlight outcomes, not theory. We spend too much time talking about theory, not enough time talking about the outcomes that they can expect, and importantly, how those outcomes will make them feel. Here's a quick story by example. A neutral that I coached starting posting weekly behind the table reflections on LinkedIn. These were just short paragraphs explaining what helped the parties in their sessions break through impasse. Didn't reveal any personal identifying information, no confidentiality was breached, but they were sharing those insights on how the process and they, right? So both marketing the process and their services very subtly, how they helped clients break through impasse. When those moments of, revelation happened, where conflict turned to collaboration, cooperation, problem solving, and resolution. And within 2 months, her posts were being shared by attorneys, HR leaders, and even other neutrals. And most importantly, her inquiries, so people reaching out to her with leads, doubled in just 2 months, right? That's successful marketing, and it doesn't feel like marketing. So your action step here is to review your website or your most recent post and ask yourself, does it educate someone reading it or viewing it or seeing it about dispute resolution? Or does it just describe what you do? If it doesn't teach, start there. Reframe, right? We do that so much in our practice. Let's do that with our marketing. Reframe your marketing, because when you market dispute resolution, you also market your value. All right, moving on to the second thing you need to do in your marketing. You need to build your brand around trust, not titles. We are a profession that is very into our titles. It's starting with mediator, arbitrator, attorney, whatever that might be. And credentials get attention, but trust wins clients, right? People don't choose a neutral because of your degrees or certifications. You may get their attention initially with those, but they're not going to hire you because of that. They choose you because they believe you can help them resolve something difficult. And that means your marketing has to communicate trustworthiness, not just competence. Competence is not compelling. It's great. We all need to have it. It's an ethical duty to be competent, but trustworthiness is the key. And the key to trustworthiness is authenticity and consistency. Every touch point to you, right? So that's from your website to your bio, to your LinkedIn post, to your billing process, to your onboarding materials, to your branding, everything has to be spoken in your voice. It should be coming and sounding like it's from the same person that they're going to meet in the room. So if your about page, say, on your website reads like a resume, what is that? That's credentials. I want you to rewrite it in your own voice. Speak from who you are instead of what you've done. If your posts sound like press releases, I want you to shift them to sharing reflections, lessons learned, and helpful insights instead. You want to show your values and speak directly to your audience's experience. I'll share another example. Conflict doesn't have to end relationships. My work focuses on helping people find a way forward, even when communication feels impossible. So that was me speaking directly to an audience's experience. Conflict doesn't have to end relationships. My work focuses on helping people find a way forward, even when communication feels impossible. That's not a tagline. It's a promise to the person who's listening. And it builds trust far faster than a list of certifications ever could. Marketing is about emotion first and logic second. Clients, even sophisticated attorneys, for those of you who rely on referrals, make decisions based on how safe, seen, and understood they feel. So let your marketing reflect what it feels like to work with you. Calm, clear, and capable. That's your brand, and it's your job to communicate it to your potential clients. So focus on building that trust. In fact, one of the most important ways to do that is through your thought leadership. That's the entire reason I wrote the Thought Leadership Playbook. That is right now the latest release of the Practice Playbook Series. It followed up on the Flat Fee Playbook, and it's selling, I'm delighted to say, selling really well. And I'm getting a lot of very positive feedback, but I want you to understand what that book is about. That book is about helping you as a professional start to build trust through your thought leadership with potential clients before they ever need you or meet you. So usually as mediators, arbitrators, whatever we do, we start to build trust when we get in the room with people. Think about the power of building that trust before they ever know you, need you, or meet you. That's thought leadership. If you want to check out the book, you can go to the website, or I'll put a link in the show notes. But the whole thing about trust is best approached through thought leadership. I just wanted to share that for a second here before we now move on to the number 3 thing that you need to be doing for modern marketing. And that is follow up like it's a superpower, folks. This one might surprise you. The biggest marketing leak in most dispute resolution practices isn't poor content or a weak website. It is poor follow-up. We, as a profession, are terrible at follow-up. When someone reaches out to ask about your services, generally you will respond once. And maybe after that response, they say, okay, we'll think about it. And then weeks go by and you assume they've gone elsewhere. Here's the truth. They probably just got busy, overwhelmed, or just weren't ready yet. Leads don't say no. Often they don't, in that phone call with you or email with you in that moment, say no. They just drift away. Your following up done well is what brings them back. Following up is not pushy. We need to get over that mindset. It is professional. It is your way of instituting another touch to show that you are still thinking of them and there to support them. Here's what effective follow-up looks like. It is timely. Check in a week or 2 after your last exchange. We always called this in my first law firm tickling things. We'd put it in the tickle file. These days, we can have a wonderful reminder set on our calendar, or even better, we can automate these things. But Check in a week or two after your last exchange. Be helpful. That's the next one. Be helpful. Offer in that follow-up something of value, like a new resource or a checklist. I just wanted to touch base with you, see if there's any more information I might give you. And I thought that this blank resource link here might be of further support. Please let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything more I can do. And then make it personal. Reference their specific concerns or timing. Show them you were paying attention and that you heard them, right? That they will be seen and heard, that they were seen and heard. So be timely, be helpful, and be personal. So here's what that might look like in real life, right? Hi, Jordan. I wanted to follow up and see if you had any additional questions about mediation. I also thought you might find this short guide on preparing for your first session helpful. Short, professional, and helpful. One of my clients built this simple spreadsheet which listed every inquiry they got. And it was a spreadsheet with the date, last contact, and next steps. And she set a 10-minute reminder every Friday to send a few follow-ups. In less than 3 months, because you know I'm big on tracking statistics on these things, in less than 3 months, her client bookings increased by almost 40%. Her conversion rate increased by 40% through simple, constant, having a method in place for follow-up. So here's your action step. Build a follow-up routine that fits your style. Copy her spreadsheet idea. Get a CRM program or go my old-fashioned tickle. We literally would print out a copy of the email and put it in an accordion folder that had dates 1 through 31. And each day we could pull out all of the tickles for that particular date of the month. But create your follow-up routine and then stick to it. This is not, she took 10 minutes on Fridays to do this, right? You can pick a day of the week, do it on Thursday, do it on a day when you know you have a little extra time. It doesn't have to be a long amount of time. 10 minutes is what she got a 40% return on investment on. Because your next client may not be a new contact. It's much more likely to be someone you already spoke with once and someone you didn't follow up with again. Let's change that today. All right. So smart marketing equals sustainable growth. And that's the really important part of this. And that's why I want you to focus on these 3 must-dos, because when you put them together, you start to see what modern marketing really looks like for dispute resolution professionals. It's not about louder messaging or bigger budgets. Every time I talk to new clients or I'm on a consulting gig or do a program on marketing, people think it's about how much money you spend. It is not. It is about clarity, connection, and consistency, and those things are all within your control if you follow the 3 must-dos. When you educate people about the value of dispute resolution, when you build trust through authenticity and follow up with care, your practice grows. And so does the credibility of our entire profession, which is an ongoing circle that benefits all of us. So as you reflect on this episode, ask yourself, which of these 3 areas could use the most attention in your practice? Start there. Take 1 small action this week. You will be amazed how quickly momentum builds when you focus on what truly matters, the 3 must-dos. Here's your golden nugget, final takeaway from today's episode. Modern marketing for dispute resolution professionals starts with service, not selling. Educate your audience. Build trust through authenticity. Follow up with care. When you do that, you're not just growing your practice, you're advancing the profession. Listeners, if this episode gave you ideas or a nudge to take action, I would love to hear about it. Please share your biggest takeaway on LinkedIn and tag me. I always enjoy seeing how you are building your practice. And if you'd like more tools and strategies like these, check out the Practice Playbook Series and my upcoming Practice Accelerator community, where I'm going to go even deeper into creating a profitable, purpose-driven practice. You can find links to all of these in the show notes, as well as at the SusanEGuthrie.com website. Thank you so much for listening, and remember, success in dispute resolution doesn't come from shouting louder. It comes from showing up with clarity, compassion, and consistency. Until next time, I'm Susan Guthrie, and this is the Practice Playbook Podcast. Thanks so much for listening to the Practice Playbook Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, I would love it if you'd take a moment to leave a review, follow the show, or share it with a colleague who's ready to build the practice of their dreams. If you want more support and tools like the ones you heard today, join the waitlist for the Practice Accelerator, my brand new subscription program packed with resources to help you grow smarter. You can find the link in the show notes or visit SusanEGuthrie.com to learn more. Until next time, stay focused, stay intentional, and remember, success starts with the right playbook.